Yo, what is up, my casual fans? Today, I'm gonna be giving my prediction and breakdown, a casual little prediction and breakdown, one might call it, to UFC Fight Night Belal Muhammad versus Gabriel Bonfim. We got ourselves a sick little card here. We got ourselves a nice little fun, little scrappy card. You know, we got a little fun, little scraps on here, and even the female fights. These are pretty good fights, bro. These are pretty good fights. Ain't got nothing to complain about here. They fun. My dad showed me the registration I had ordered on my car, the new one. And he walked in, so don't mind that. But let's get right into it. Ketlin Souza versus Ariane Carnelossi. I'm picking Ketlin Souza. Carnelossi is big. She's like buff for a women's fighter. Like really like broad shoulders. Ketlin Souza like actually fights. I think Ketlin Souza got good striking. She's got good power on the feet. She's decent with her takedown defense and her ability to get back up. I mean, she got held down by Pierre Rodriguez, but she was able to get back up in these moments, and she was able to have her moments on the feet. She lost to Angela Hill, but it was a split decision. Uh, it's fair, and Angela Hill's a tough test. You don't you know Angela Hill is not just some little pushover. So great fighter. Not a loss to be ashamed of. Same with Pierre Rodriguez, and then she beat Bruna Brazil, who's not a bad fighter. A pretty good win, decent win. Um, Carnelossi kind of is like a victim on the ground. She doesn't really do much, and I think Kellen Souza kind of out like like out broads her. She kind of has the more. I think she's better on the feet. I think she's more powerful. She's kind of got that, more like she's one of those women's fighters more so than Carnelossi. Carnelossi kind of a victim on the ground. We saw Talita Alencar just take her down, ragdoll her, and sub her. Pierre Rodriguez got DQ'd against her because of a headbutt. But I think Ketlin Silva is gonna beat her. Simple as that. I think she's gonna drop her, and I think she's gonna submit her. So that's my pick. Next up, Jaisla Chavez versus Eunice Dubin. I'm picking Jaisla Chavez. She had a sick fight on Contender Series where she actually looked technical. She has really good striking. She's very precise on the feet. She's got a good chin. But Eunice Dubin, she's got nasty power, but not all that technical. Kind of just a stand and bang fighter, a brawler. Not much technicality. She kind of just wade into range. She got pieced up and finished in a minute by Carly Judice, who is really good. So I think Jason Chavez just beats her up. I think she's gonna piece her up, and I think she's gonna finish her similarly because she's actually really precise and she's got a lot of tools on the feet. And Eunice doing, she's fun. This has potential to be a fun scrap, but I think Jason Chavez is just better. Simple as that. All right. Next up, we got Jordan Levitt and Joanderson Brito. 1 second. Uh, I'm gonna pick Jordan Levitt, and I was kind of debating on it because it really came down to the fact that it really came down to the fact that that I saw Yo Anderson Burrito. He got taken down by. Sorry about the pause again. Just had to do something really quick. Yo Anderson Burrito's really good, and he's got good grappling. He's well rounded. He's got power on the feet. He's got good striking. He's got nasty leg kicks. Jordan Levitt is kind of just like a smudge grappler, real strong, real physical, real like grab him and my thing with Yo Anderson Burrito is when I see him get taken down and held down by Pat Sabatini, I'm like, oh, I don't like that. Ragdoll, just jumping for guillotines 24/7 and not getting them. When I see him get have a competitive fight with who was it? Isaac Thomas, was that his name? Isaac Thompson, and he's getting taken down and getting in these bad positions and getting hit on the feet. I don't like it. Jordan Levitt's got like weird, awkward, tricky striking that trips people up. And he's really physical and like he gets people down against Yadier Del Val, who has shown decent grappling in the Contender Series and in his UFC fights. He's shown decent grappling. Levitt just ragdolled him the first 2 rounds, and I think that's what's going to happen here. And I don't think Yo Anderson Brito is going to have this Hail Mary moment. Maybe he does, and maybe I'm wrong, but I think Levitt is just, I think he's just kind of going to ragdoll him. And I think he's going to hold him down. I think he's just going to maintain position because there's nothing that Brito's just kind of like shown that he can get held down, and that's not what you want to see in a fight against Jordan Levitt. So I'm going to pick Levitt by boring smudge decision. I hope Brito wins. I love watching Brito fight. He's so much fun to watch. But I'm going to pick Levitt to smudge him. Smudge and budge him. Next up, we have Priscilla Cachoeira versus Chelsea Chandler. I'm picking Priscilla Cachoeira, and this comes less down to I think Priscilla Cachoeira is good, and more comes down to the fact that I think Chelsea Chandler sucks. Chelsea Chandler sucks. Moving on. Here's a good one. Bruno Silva versus Edgar Chairez. I see a lot of people picking Edgar Chairez, and I understand it, but I think if you look at the level that Chairez has fought compared to the level of Bruno Silva and how they're performing and how they're winning, Bruno Silva, when he beats his level of competition, he wins in like a spectacular fashion. Like he'll get like a sick finish. Like against the guys he's fought. Like Cody Durden, sick, nasty uppercut that just puts Durden out. Against Tyson Nam, front kick to the face and then jumps on a rear naked. Hyun-Sung Park drops Hyun-Sung Park, jumps on a rear naked right on the back, and doesn't even get the hooks and just holds him up by the rear naked. Chairez is having like a split decision with Felipe Boons. Chairez is having this close competitive fight with I don't know what I'm talking about. His only two losses in the UFC are Joshua Van and Tatsuro Tyrus, which are not terrible. I don't know what I'm on about. But I mean, what he's finishing Luan Lacerda on a 4-fight losing streak. He's finishing CJ Vergara, who just kind of got beat up and battered before that. I mean, wins that aren't all that impressive in my eyes. And he's good. I like Edgar Chairez. He's fun. But I think Bruno Silva is gonna do what he does best, and I think he's gonna have a moment where he hurts Chairez. And I think he's gonna drop Chairez. And when I think he drops him, I think he's gonna jump on a submission really quick, and I think Chairez is gonna tap. Chairez is good. Bruno Silva is just a bit better. And I don't think this is right for Chairez right now. I think it would have been better to have Chairez fight like an Alden Correa or a like an Alessandro Costa, then fight Bruno Silva, because then we would have seen something impressive. Maybe he fights like a Ray Saruya, beats a grappler, a really heavy grappler who's good like that. Then we would have seen something where like, oh, okay, he can fight and beat this guy. He's shown something against a higher level of opponent, but he doesn't really had that moment yet. So it's hard for me to sit here and pick him. So I'm gonna go with Bruno Silva to win by a submission. I think he's gonna get a rear naked choke on Edgar Chairez, and I think yeah. Next up, Marcus McGee versus John Giannis. I'm gonna pick Marcus McGee, and my thing is, John Giannis. He looked really good against Jamie Siraj, but when you look at Jamie Siraj compared to Marcus McGee, the difference in just speed and athleticism, explosive power, striking skill, it's Marcus McGee is just so much better. And uh Marcus McGee is just significantly better on the feet. He's so much faster. He's got sick power on the feet. He's dynamic, he's fast, he's accurate. And I think that's gonna, I think that's gonna trouble Giannis, and I think it's gonna catch him off guard, especially since he hasn't had a full camp for this. And I think Marcus McGee is gonna put him away and knock him out in the first round. Marcus McGee is a finisher. He's skilled. He's technical, and against a certain level of competition, I trust in his ability to go out there and finish a fight. And I think this is that level. I think John Giannis is that level of competition where he could go out there and he could get a finish in spectacular fashion. I'm picking Marcus McGee by first round KO. Matt Schnell versus Alessandro Costa. I'm gonna say something, and it may shock some of you, but Alessandro Costa is gonna knock out Matt Schnell in round one, and it's gonna be brutal. Matt Schnell is chinny. He's got a bad chin at flyweight. If he goes up, he gets chinned worse. He can't go down. He's got to stay at flyweight where he's going to get chinned. And Costa is a power puncher who's got pretty good boxing. Costa has pretty good boxing. He's got power on the hands. He's got good leg kicks. He's going to knock out Matt Schnell. And it's going to be sad because we all love Matt Schnell. Everyone loves Matt Schnell. Matt Schnell, your time has come. There's no way out of this one. You're getting finished in round one by vicious knockout. Costa's got power. He's put people out before. He's dropped people. All right. It's just going to be brutal, and I think everyone agrees. Moving on. Iwo Baranuski versus Junior Tafa. A part of me wanted to pick Junior Tafa because when you look at his striking in his recent performances against Kevin Christian, he got a nice knockout. Yeah, we love to see it. Against Billy Alakana, he looked good. He looked sharp. He was able to drop him. He looked good on the feet early. And Iwo Baranuski, he brawls, and he gets in these moments where he gets hit and he gets hurt, and he makes it tough, and he makes it like scrappy. And he's got this judo background, but he never shows it. But then I remembered one thing. Junior Tafa can't take a fucking leg kick. And if Junior Tafa could take a leg kick, I think I would genuinely have picked him. But he can't. And I trust Iwo Baranuski is smart enough. So I think he has a minute level of intelligence. He doesn't have a complete just pea brain like most light heavyweights. I think he actually has somewhat of a brain in his head. So I think he's going to do the only sensible thing he can do, and he's going to throw a fucking low kick, and then Junior Tafa is going to crumble over. Kevin Christian was hurting. You're getting hurt by Kevin Christian with low kicks. Oh my God, how are we letting this happen? How are we letting this happen? I'm sorry. I like Junior Tafa now. He's fun. He wasn't mean, but he's actually good at light heavyweight. I'm sorry. Junior Tafa, I don't think he got what it takes in this fight. Who knows? Maybe he does. Maybe Baranuski is just completely brain dead and just scraps it out, and Junior Tafa gets a good win over an undefeated light heavyweight prospect. Yeah, I don't see that happen. I think Baranuski's gonna leg kick him. He's gonna get him on the ground, and when he gets on top, I think he's gonna beat him up. And when Junior Tafa eventually like hips out and does something, and gets in a position where he's gonna try and get back to his feet, Baranuski's gonna jump on a submission, jump on the back or something. And I think he's gonna submit Junior Tafa. I think we're gonna see an Iwo Baranuski submission. Next up, Bryce Mitchell versus Santiago Luna. A part of me really wanted to pick Bryce Mitchell, but I started thinking about it and thinking about Luna's last fight, and I started thinking about his. I really started thinking about and looking into his background, and he's got a really solid grappling background. All right, and he's young, and he's got good striking. All right, he's super sound on the feet. All right, in his debut, he showed himself to be a little raw. You know, he showed himself to be a little raw. Got hurt by Kwong Le, got dropped for a second to a knee. But against Angel Pacheco, who I thought was actually a pretty decent striker who could give him a tough match. He was just pumping that jab out. He was pumping that jab out. All right, he was moving his head super well. He was whenever he shot for a takedown, he got him down instantly. All right, never a wasted movement, never nothing. He was always in the right position, cutting off the cage, and when he would back him up against the cage, he would unleash these vicious combinations, like 6-punch combinations with knees and elbows mixed in, and he's super accurate. I think the accuracy stat doesn't tell the full story. He's very accurate with his punches. Whenever he threw on Angel Pacheco, he lands. And Bryce Mitchell, his striking defense and his striking, he doesn't have anything threatening coming back on the feet for Santiago Luna. And Santiago Luna, with his wrestling background and his Mexican style boxing, he's gonna march down Bryce Mitchell. He's gonna be pumping his jab, and he's gonna be putting together these vicious combinations, and he's gonna put it on Bryce Mitchell. And I think Bryce Mitchell's tough. Oh, he got dropped by something big and dynamic, but I think Santiago Luna is gonna finish him. I think he's gonna hurt him early, and I think Bryce Mitchell's gonna survive, maybe to a second to a third round, but Luna's eventually gonna get him against the fence again. He's gonna put together a combination, and he's just gonna put out Bryce Mitchell. I don't think this is a good matchup for Bryce Mitchell. I think Victor Henry was a better matchup, because Victor Henry's not as threatening on the feet, but Luna has power on the feet. He can put together these big combinations. He throws with much more vicious intent. And he's young, and he's got good cardio. I think he's going to beat Bryce Mitchell. And I think it's going to be a huge win for Luna and a huge win for the Mexican market. I think they're going to have a star in the making on their hands. Next up, we have Fares Ziam versus Tom Nolan. I'm picking Fares Ziam. I like Tom Nolan. He's actually quite good. He's got a really dynamic striking. He's got a lot of tools in his kit. He's got elbows, knees. He's got kicks, good punches, these up kicks from bottom position, elbows from off of his back on bottom. Fares Ziam is actually so incredibly underrated. I mean, Mike Davis, Nazim Sadikov, Matt Frivola, Jai Herbert, all great wins. In his last loss to Terrence McKinney, like 4 or 5 years ago, he is significantly improved. He is a much physically stronger fighter. He's physically very strong. All right, physically he is a very strong fighter. He's got a lot of power behind his punches. He puts a lot of leverage behind his shots. And he's very sharp and fast. He finds his jab very well, and when he finds his jab, he puts the right hand behind it, and it's like a sniper. All right, it's never like completely putting someone out, but it's always stunning. That his jab is always stunning, and his right hand is always, it's like a flashbang. They stumble back to the cage always. And I think Tom Nolan is chinny, and I think Fares Ziam is gonna knock him out, and I think Fares Ziam is gonna clinch him against the cage, and in that clinch, I think Fares Ziam is going to find like a big elbow, or at open, he's going to find a big right hand. He's going to hurt Tom Nolan, and he's going to put him out. And Fares Ziam has good finishing instincts. He's shown that Shfrezdiam has shown that he actually has quite good finishing instincts. So I'm going to pick Ferezion by second round TKO. I think he's just physically stronger. He's got underrated physical strength for his frame. I think people don't rate that about Zion. He's super strong. And he kind of bullies these shorter, stockier, more muscle-bound fighters who seem to be stronger. He kind of bullies them around in these clinch positions, and I think he's going to do that to a longer, lankier Tom Nolan, who was getting kind of pressured around by Charlie Campbell on short notice, and was getting taken down by Vyacheslav Borshev. Sorry, but I'm picking Ferezion. Next up, we have Brendan Allen versus Edmund Shabazian. A part of me really wants to pick Edmund Shabazian, and he has a really good chance of winning. And that kind of comes down to, I think if he can stun Allen early with his power, Edmund can kind of lull the fight into a pace that he can keep up where he just outstrikes and lands the bigger shots against Brendan Allen. And I think that's very possible. But I'm going to pick Brendan Allen because I think Brendan Allen's, he's tough. I think he's got a pretty good shin. He's got good kicks. He's got decent box. He's got pretty good boxing. Sick grappler, great positional control, great scrambles. He can find the back real easy. All right, I think Brendan Allen's going to win. I think he may drop the first round, but Shabazian's going to slow down, and then Brendan Allen's going to take over, and I think he's going to win a decision. And then I think he should fight Dricus next. I think that'd be a great fight for him, fight Dricus next. But I'm picking Brendan Allen. But I do want to preface, I think Edmund Shabazian has a real good shot here. Shabazian is really good. People forget he was top 10 at one point. He was like slumping prime Brad Tavares. I mean, his last 3 wins have been Andre Muniz, Andre Petrosky, and Dylan Budka. Not great, but he slimed out Dylan Budka and Muniz, and he kind of just pieced up and beat the shit out of and broke the arm of Andre Petrosky in their fight across 3 rounds. I think he's really good, and I think he's gonna have a good, decent showing against Brendan Allen, but I think Allen's just gonna edge it out in the later rounds. So I'm picking Allen by unanimous decision. Ooh, next up for the main event, Belal Muhammad versus Gabriel Bonfim. I'm thinking Belal Muhammad, and I may shock people with this. I think he's gonna finish Bonfim. And I think that really comes down to, if you look at this fight, Bonfim slows down. He always does. He will always slow down, and he'll always kind of do something that blows his load, in a sense. You know what I'm saying? He'll gotta blow his load early on in the fight. Um, in this fight, I don't think Gabriel Bonfim is gonna be able to get takedowns. We've seen Belal Muhammad has sick takedown defense. I don't think. I think his leg kicks are going to be a factor. Belal Muhammad is susceptible to leg kicks, but I think something that's going to work against Bonfim is his cardio and the way he likes to fight. He likes to get a little scrappy, and I think it could hurt Belal, but I don't think it's going to get to a point. I don't think he's going to sub Belal, and I don't think he's going to. And I don't think he's going to knock out Belal. I think if Gary couldn't knock out Belal, and I think if JDM couldn't knock out Belal, I don't think Gabriel Bonfim is going to knock out Belal. All right. Bonfim's got good submissions, and he's got decent boxing, and he's got a good leg kick, but he's going to slow down. Belal Muhammad has good takedown defense. He's got pretty decent boxing as well. Honestly, he has pretty good boxing. He has pretty good boxing. If you look back at his fight with Diego Lima, you can see why they call him Canelo Hands. He was putting together good combinations against the fence, ripping these body shots. And I think that's what's going to help him. I think he's going to be able to. I think with his pressure, he's going to utilize shots to the body a lot. I think he's gonna. I think kicks to the body is gonna be really helpful for him. He's very good at switching stances and throwing his kicks to the body. I think that's gonna help him a lot. And I think they're gonna slow down Bonfim. And I think as the fight takes over, I think as the fight goes into these later rounds, he's gonna take over and he's gonna put together these combinations. And he's gonna be putting this pressure on Bonfim. He's gonna be landing better shots, cleaner shots more often as the fight goes on. The body shots are going to be hurting more. And I think by the third, maybe the four, probably maybe the third or probably the fourth round, Bonfim is going to wither up against the fence, and Belal Muhammad is just gonna tee off, let his hands go, probably shoot for a takedown, get it, and he's gonna beat Bonfim up on the ground, and Bonfim is gonna crumble up, and he's gonna finish Bonfim. I think Bonfim's biggest enemy in this fight is his own cardio, and Belal Muhammad has great cardio, and he can for sure outpace Bonfim. He's been in plenty of 5 round fights. He's got plenty of 5 round experience. He's gone 5 rounds where he's been the hammer, and he's gone 5 rounds where he's been the nail. All right. He knows how to push a pace. He knows how to make a fight tough. He did, despite getting outstruck and pretty much outclassed on the feet against JDM and in Gary. He was landing shots against both of them, and he was he was doing decent on the feet against both of them, and I think that's gonna help him a lot. I think knowing that would help him a lot. I don't think either of those guys. I don't think Bonfim would do better than either of those guys on the feet than Belal. So I think Belal Muhammad's gonna finish him. I think he's gonna show levels here. I think Belal Muhammad is gonna show levels here. So I'm picking Belal Muhammad by fourth round TKO. I think he's gonna finish Bonfim. I truly do. The Chicago Grim Reaper. He's coming. We are coming to take our next victim. Thank you all for watching. Tell me who you guys think is going to win down below. Give me your thoughts and predictions. Thank you so much. Have a good one. Peace.